All right. Hi, folks. I was going to move on with like net ionics and single replacements, but let's not, and not even say we did. So I didn't think that we needed. I thought if we took a pause today and just checked in with these net ionics, I was going to go over all of the examples here. So this is what I expect you to have done. I expect you to have done the double replacement. Let me pull it up. I had it right here. No. Um, no. 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 Yeah, here. Okay, so I have it right here. I'm going to go through each of these, and I expect you to have done up to 15. But let's say by Tuesday. Okay. So I made another video before about the exceptions and what drives these processes and what I expect you to do. Please watch the videos. I really want to make a new living being a YouTuber. So start subscribing and liking and sharing with all your friends. Okay, I think I did these two before, but yeah, let's do 3 and 4 just now. So I'll just do it on the bit paper, and then I'll talk about the colloid. I don't know if I assigned you guys the colloids thing. Let me double check. I gave you the osmosis thing to do. No, I haven't given you the colloids thing to do, but I will, and I'll go over that today. So where was the precipitates? Okay, let's carry on with this one here. So I did up to AgCl as an example before. Let's do these ones here. Sorry, coughing, not corona. Okay, cadmium phosphate and ammonium sulfide. Let's see if I can remember those. Cadmium phosphate plus ammonium sulfide. So that'll be NH4 2S, charge of +1, charge of -2. Cadmium, so it's Cd, and then charge might be 2. Yeah, charge is 2. So that's a 3 there, and this is a 2 here. So what does it go to? Well, I don't need you to write all out the whole ionic, but I need you to recognize that you have 3 cadmiums, 2 phosphates, 2 ammoniums, and 1 sulfide. So you could have ammonium phosphate. Let's see ammonium phosphate. Ammonium. Soluble. Okay, let's look at the other thing. So it could be ammonium phosphate or cadmium sulfide. So we'll go to our chart, cadmium. Maybe we don't have it here. Cadmium sulfide. It's soluble. Yeah. So no, very little. So cadmium sulfide insoluble. Yeah. This is like how much dissolves at these temperatures. So it goes up, but with cadmium sulfide, it's a tiny amount. That amount dissolves. So basically nothing. I mean, everything kind of dissolves. I'm dissolving into the air around me right now. So basically that happens. So that would be cadmium sulfide, solid, and they're 2 and 2, right? It's 2 here because there's a 2 there. And so then ammonium phosphate, so NH4 3PO4, so balancing, so 3 and 2, I'm hoping that'll work out. Yeah, 2 there, 3 there, and so a 3 here. Yay, and that works. So now this is what I expect you to do is the net, and so the net is just involving these things here, okay? So your net is going to look like, oh, oops, I think I can add in a page. Oops, hold on, let me add in a page here, add a page. So that would be 3 cadmium ions plus 3 sulfide ions make 3 cadmium sulfides. If you forgot the 3 and the 3, I don't really mind. It matches that. It matches the numbers, right? But essentially the idea would be that you're getting the idea that it's just the cadmium and the sulfide that we care about. So there's the net ionic done. Now you should have AQ and AQ in there. Okay, let's do the next one. So cobalt hydroxide and nitric acid. Cobalt hydroxide, so cobalt 3 hydroxide plus nitric acid. So this is a HOH. This is an acid base. This is a base. And this is an acid. The base because of the OHs and an acid because of the H's. So this is going to make water plus cobalt nitrate. Now, cobalt nitrate is going to be soluble. How do I know? Well, it better be. Well, it doesn't even matter if it's not cobalt. So it'll be cobalt bromide, chloride, fluoride, nitrate. Yeah, pretty soluble. Okay. So that's what's being produced. That's what drives this reaction. That's liquid, so it's my bad L. So this would be 3 OH minuses plus 3 H positives goes to 3 H2O liquids. AQ, AQ. Next, silver nitrate, potassium chloride. Right, we've done this exact one a few times. So that goes to silver chloride and potassium nitrate, but the net for number 5 is just going to be, let me add a new page in here. The net is just going to be Ag positive plus Cl minus goes to AgCl. That's the net for that one. Okay, the next one was sodium carbonate and sulfuric acid. Okay, so sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 plus H2SO4. Alright, this is like one of the exceptions. So you look at what we're going to make, and we're going to make this H is going to go with this carbonate, and we're going to make H2CO3. How do I know that? Well, there's a charge of -2 sitting here. I don't write it in normally in this formula, but it's there. And so these two H's have a charge of +1 each. So it'll take 2 of them. And then what does that do? That breaks apart. And so the other thing is sodium sulfate, which is soluble. 2SO4. AQ. Anything with sodium is soluble. And so this thing here, this is one of the exceptions. It makes hydrogen carbonate. and that decomposes immediately to H2O plus CO2. So the net for these is a little bit trickier. Look at what we can take out. We can take out the sodium and the sulfate, because they're AQ there and an AQ over here. So they're gone. So essentially we're left with CO3 minus 2 carbonate ions plus hydrogen ions makes water and carbon dioxide. And so that's liquid and that's a gas. That's aqueous and so is that. Okay. That's an exception, but we talked about this. If you ever produce this, this breaks apart to those things here. Let's do number 7, aluminum hydroxide and acetic acid. So this is number 7. So AlOH3 plus acetic acid. So I always write acetic acid like this because it's the only way my rubbish brain remembers. So this is acid plus a base. So this is going to make H2O, don't even need to think about it, plus aluminum acetate, AlCH3COO. I don't need the minus in there, 3. And so again, what's the net? That's got to be 3, and that's got to be 3. So it'll be OH, 3 OH minuses plus 3H positive. That one there goes to 3H2O. There's your net. Okay, let's go to 8. Aluminum sulfate, sulfate and calcium phosphate. So aluminum sulfate, was it? Oh, okay, so that's 2. Oh no, let me do that again. Al2 SO4 3 plus calcium phosphate Ca3PO4 2. Now that's weird. This is a solid, but I guess we might do something. So we could have aluminum phosphate or calcium sulfate. Aluminum phosphate. Let's see. Aluminum phosphate. Aluminum LM alphabet. Soluble. So aluminum sulfate is pretty soluble. What about, what's the other one? Aluminum phosphate. I don't see it. Let's see if it's in the previous one. Aluminum phosphate. Insoluble. Insoluble. Okay. So makes AlPO4 solid plus CaSO4. Oh, AQ. So now we have to put a 2 there, put a 3 there. Is that right? Yeah. So net though, it's just these ones. The net is going to be 2Al plus 3 plus 2PO4 minuses minus 3s makes 2AlPO4 solid. Okay. Oh, did I jump a page? I think I jumped a page. Whatever. Okay, nearly there. Let's see if there are any funny exceptions on here. No. 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 No, there's no big exceptions there. So you should be able to finish these off. I'm going to be around all day. If you want to just shoot me an email and ask me a question. I expect you to have done this by the end of, I guess, due today at some point. If you don't get it done, it's okay. I am putting in grades. We just had a school meeting about not giving grades. Everything's turn-inable. I'm just assigning a time for it. You can turn it in later if you want. I haven't even really been thinking much about grades. Um, they're probably not going to change much. Whatever you had, you're probably going to have. Just do me a favor and just keep attempting some of the work so I can just put in, okay, attempted, done. That would at least keep you connected to things. But if you're freaking out about grades, let me know and we'll try and figure it out, okay? So you should be working on 4.3 and this stuff. Keep on this. Ask me about it and